back with the other guys on the analyst desk.
Thank you, gentlemen. I got to start this off with, where was this Bangkok Titans the rest of the tournament? They came out swinging this time around.
For sure.
I blacked out for a second. What the heck happened in that game? But this is exactly the Bangkok Titans that we saw at IWCQ, a team that is completely fearless. Like, they play against everyone the exact same way, which is just like outright brute aggression. And it was really fun to watch because they definitely caught EDG off guard.
Now, let's take it back to Champion Select, part of where they may have taken them off guard. Coming to you, Yamato, because this is what you were looking for them to do earlier in the day.
It's like EDG is starting to piss me off because to me, like, I see them as a top contender, but their cockiness in Champion Select is starting to really I'm starting to ball up here because they're picking Echo, like this full engaged composition, like go in there deep against a Darius and a Lulu, which is so strong against it, and it's just so cocky.
And maybe you can speak to this because this was a game where you expected EDG to go with comfort picks to get confidence. But when you pick comfort and then you lose the early game, how does that affect your mentality, Tabe?
I think, for example, because I just now at the games before they are competing against EDG, I said BKT has to ban the Lulu if they want to pick Yasuo. I think they have very in-depth information. They know that Lulu is a good counterpick against Yasuo. So we can see that G4 is using Lulu against Pawn. And the thing is, after most is roaming that effectively, we can see that there is a huge lead in mid lane.
There's a player that I want to highlight here because BKT had control of this game for such a long period of the game. Moss was the catalyst for all of it, showing up mid lane with that gank there on to G4, helping him pick up an early kill on a pawn. You know, a playmaker. You talked about the prioritization of the Thresh, and we even heard Atlas saying, I really want to see him play Thresh because he is a playmaker here and can really be a catalyst for this team.
Well, these two players single-handedly, you see the solo kill here from G4, dismantled the Chiefs in IWCQ. It was Moss's Thresh and then the play out of G4 that were able to make this team even be successful. And you see the death sentences on point. And this guy, you give him any momentum, like they are a momentum team, and you can see that they rode that for so long.
I had no idea about Moses Thresh, and now I know why people hyped it up. Because, whoa, top level.
And we were talking, if you get the confidence of Bangkok Titans and mix it with the raw ability and shot calling of Pain, you would have like a super IWC team right now, because the opposite ends of the spectrums, maybe not the thought behind the play there, but definitely the raw aggression is starting to come out for Bangkok.
So go.
So what you're saying is take the balls from Pain and take the balls from Bangkok and just give them to Pain, and we have a top contender. Yeah. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Something that I do want to look at, you know, as we mentioned, they controlled the game for a very long period of time. I want to look at the turning point for the game, because this is something that Crepo has hit on that EDG does very well when they are behind or when they need to, you know, blow a hole into the game. They'll set up vision plays. Yeah,
so what they do is EDG look for the one play on the map that can take everything back. So you see this time they actually set up the brush and they have the approach warded and they bait it really nicely with amazing Jay's stun here. And from there, it's a very clean fight. The snare was actually so important from 007X because otherwise Pawn would have taken this over. But EDG, they're a class team. There's no one debating that. It's just the arrogance coming into the game that's putting them in these holes in the first place.
Yeah. And, you know, funnily enough, with the gold lead that BKT had here, it was still a pretty close fight, even with the element of surprise on the side of EDG.
Because Darius could tank like 4 people. It was massive.
It's like combine this play with a good draft and bam, top contender. But with this draft, I can't see them doing like well further in the tournament.
So EDG, they do pick up this win. It's very important for them. They needed this win in order to keep their run towards that second seed alive. But Tabe, I'm coming to you because it doesn't look pretty. They don't look good, right? And they're going to have to go up against H2K, which beat Bangkok Titans pretty easily in the prior game. So what are we looking for EDG to fix going into that game against H2K?
I think after this game, I think the whole team of EDG will be have a better team morale now because they have finally to win a game. And I think top laner Amazing J has been a very good job in playing Echo too. So I think if they want to beat H2K easily, they have to have a huge lead all over the lane, not only AJ, because just now we can see that they're against BKT, but they have very huge lead by BKT.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And one thing that H2K can take on the flip side is that Amazing J wants to 1v1. So if they camp that lane, just like SKT did, there might be an opening there, because that was a 1v1 lane that Amazing J did very well in a counter pick.
All right, well, you know, Bangkok Titans surprising everyone with that game, coming out very strong. However, EDG does pick up the victory. Next up, though, H2K returns to the stage to face off against SK Telecom. We'll be back to see if they can rise to the occasion right after this.
Edward Gaming looking to try and pick up another victory after what was a difficult defeat against SKT. The Dessens lands on Nemeko at the same time as Warlock makes his way in. Apprehend pulls him back. G4 locks down another kill, 3-1. An ability to get something down, but Clearlove takes the Super Mega Death Rocket. Deft is so dead. Deft, though, gets closed in on G4, trying to get him out of the fight, and you can see Warlock already in amongst it. He's gigantic, massive heals.
Lulu die. Line up, Lulu. 80. Okay, 80 快血. Nice.
Eventually falls, but Warlock, he's still hit. Death finishes him off. Lloyd now against the wall. Does get the last crit. EDG, after a comeback from 6,000 gold, pick themselves up a victory.